I need your full attention. Not half, not distracted, not scrolling through your feed while listening. I need you all in because what I'm about to tell you isn't just football talk. This isn't just a let's see what happens in camp type of breakdown. No, this is a pulse check, a gut check, a battlefield briefing for real Dallas Cowboys fans because what's coming down the pipeline feels different, it smells different, it moves different, and if your football instincts are even halfway alive, then you already know. This ain't your typical off-season and training camp. It's not just about conditioning or drills or new installs. Nah, this feels like the opening scene of something big, something explosive, something that, if it clicks the way I think it might, could rip through the NFC like a wildfire lit by lightning, and I'm telling you right now, the thunder's already rumbling and the sparks are flying, and at the center of this storm, the eye of this emotional, strategic, and psychological hurricane, is one man, a man you already love or love to argue about. Dak Prescott. And look, say what you want, yell all the tired takes, complain all you want about playoff records or interceptions, but I'm telling you straight up, there is a calm fire in Dak this year, a different presence. And it's not just because he's in a contract year or because he's hearing the chatter. It's because something inside of him finally snapped in the best possible way. And now he's on a mission not just to play well, but to silence every single doubt with cold execution and calculated violence. And the moment that made my ears perk up, it wasn't a highlight reel or a viral quote. It was a simple sentence, something Dak said in camp about George Pickens. And if you really know this game, if you understand how subtle confidence works, how chemistry forms in silence, then you heard what I heard, and you got chills too, because Dak didn't say, "Yeah, Pickens looks good," or "We're figuring it out." No, he said, "We're already clicking." And you only say that when you've seen it, in the timing, in the trust, in the unspoken rhythm between QB and WR that turns potential into nightmares for secondaries. And Pickens, let me talk about him for a second, because this dude didn't land in Dallas to blend in, to be WR 2.5, to run sideline drills and smile for the camera. He landed here with a mission, with smoke in his lungs and hunger in his eyes. And now that he's got a top 10 quarterback feeding him instead of inconsistent chaos in Pittsburgh, he's about to go full-blown dragon mode, and I need you to really process that. I mean, truly understand what it means when a gifted but frustrated receiver gets handed not only the talent around him, but a quarterback who asked for him, a system that will feed him, a locker room that respects him, and a stage this big. That's not a recipe for solid year. That's the formula for a breakout so loud that the league scrambles to adjust mid-season. And you add him to CeeDee Lamb, who, by the way, is playing like he's trying to finish what he started last year and remind everyone that he's not just top 5, he's top, period. And now you're talking about a receiving duo that forces DCs to lose sleep at night. And still, you think we're done? Oh no, because there's Ferguson, Tolbert, and that wrinkle of unpredictability where any of them can torch you on any given play. And meanwhile, in the shadows, the offensive line story is quietly becoming the storyline. And I need to bring you there because it's being slept on nationally. But it could define everything. Tyler Guyton, that's the name I want ringing in your head right now. Because that left tackle spot isn't just a job, it's a throne, a fortress, a gate between Dak and disaster. And last year, let's keep it real, Guyton was tossed into the fire with nothing but raw talent and a prayer. No real development, no consistency in technique, just vibes. And you saw it, I saw it, he flashed, but he struggled. And we knew if he stayed like that, it could unravel the whole offensive identity. But now, something's changing. And I don't say that lightly. I've seen the tape, I've read the reports, and I've watched the body language. Guyton's leveling up, and not just physically. I mean mentally, emotionally, technically, building himself brick by brick in silence with the kind of determination that turns raw into refined. And if he takes that second-year leap, this offense becomes unguardable, because now Dak's clean, he's upright, he's confident, and that allows the rest of the weapons to flourish without hesitation. And I'm telling you, this isn't some pie-in-the-sky hope. This is tangible. This is happening. And if you blink, you'll miss the moment it all locks in. And this team goes from dangerous to devastating. And while we're fired up on offense, let's talk about the other side of the ball. The defense that's being overlooked, overshadowed, and maybe quietly, secretly, boiling over into something fierce because everyone wants to talk about Micah Parsons. And yeah, rightfully so, he's him, he's elite, he's relentless. But the most explosive, violent position battle in this entire camp is the one opposite Micah, the edge rusher war, the rotational chaos that's about to get spicy as hell. And you've got Sam Williams, who's been on the verge forever but just needs to put it together with consistency. And Dante Fowler, the vet with tools and twitch and experience. Then you've got Marshawn Nealand, the athletic monster from last year's draft who's been waiting in the wings like a sleeper agent, ready to go full beast mode. And then there's the wild card, the guy no one's talking about. But I keep mentioning because the tape don't lie. Donovan Okaruwaku. Violent hands, real bend, toolbox full, and the kind of effort that makes coaches lean forward in meetings. And this group, they're not just fighting for snaps. They're fighting to define the tone of this defense. And that battle? That's going to get real violent, real fast, because Dan Quinn might be gone. But these dogs were trained by him, and now they're ready to feast no matter who's calling plays. And speaking of that, we got to have the talk about Matt Eberflus. And I'm not holding back here, because Eberflus is walking into a loaded room, a Ferrari of a defense with nitro under the hood, and the only question is, will he drive it like a warrior or park it like a librarian? Because in Chicago, he played it safe, drop 7, rush 4, keep it clean. But in Dallas, that won't cut it. Not when you've got Micah and Osa and Diggs and Bland and all these weapons of mass disruption, because if he comes in here and dials it down, tries to out-discipline the 49ers or the Eagles, then we're wasting everything, and I don't think he will. I really don't, because this ain't Chicago anymore. This is Dallas. This is prime time. This is the spotlight where football legacies are made and broken. And Eberflus knows that if he wants to stay in the room, he better let the wolves hunt, bring the pressure, disguise the looks, confuse the pocket, and break the rhythm of every QB we face. And if he leans in and lets this defense do what it's built to do, we're talking turnovers, sacks, short fields, pick sixes, chaos, beautiful, bone-rattling chaos. And now think about what that means for the team overall. Think about how the offense plays when it knows the defense will get the ball back. How aggressive you can be when you know you've got a second chance baked into it.